Should we go to the Wembley Cup? Let's go to the Wembley Cup. Before we get into the footage that I got, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Spencer. Not that he needs it, but I'm amazed that this kind of thing can be pulled off. A big YouTube football match at Wembley, like that's pretty sick. All his team behind the scenes, his brother Seb, just thank you. Like it's pretty sick that this can actually happen. So yeah, well done. And your work does not go unnoticed. Now the first game was Rebel FC versus Hashtag, and if you watch the live stream you probably know the result already, but we're just going to go through the footage that I actually got. I'm not going to use any footage from the actual stream because you can go watch that. The link is in the description if you haven't seen the match. Rebel actually started pretty well. Theo Baker was then immediately subbed off for Charlie Morley. Too sure why. Theo didn't really do anything wrong. So we just had a power cut. My computer's literally just turned off. Right, power's back on. Right, we're back. Power cut is sorted. There's some building work down the road that I think caused that. But anyway, you don't care about that. Anyway, Rebel actually then went and scored, and the guy who scored was the man of the match in my opinion for the whole tournament. He was actually class, so here's their goal. And then it was half time, and then the moment came where pretty much most of the stadium were hoping for, where Chrismd came on for Hashtag United. He came on at half time. I'm not sure who it was for, but the point is, Chrismd is on the pitch now. And then Hashtag went close with a free kick. Ryan Adams, obviously the keeper, put him off a bit. And Chris didn't really have enough time on the pitch, in my opinion. He could have taken the free kick here. And the crowd were just getting ready to see Chrismd settle in the game, their favourite YouTuber. And then he got subbed off, and most of the people around me were like, oh, why is Chrismd getting subbed off? And I was sort of feeling the same, like, we've come to see our favourite YouTubers. He hasn't really touched the ball yet, and he's already being subbed off. And also, if you followed his Twitter, which I certainly do, you know that he's been working hard in fitness, his ab workouts, which actually proves it. I'll put it here. Theo Baker's Instagram story, they were eating pizza in the Hashtag dressing room, but even Chris was like, nah, I'm having a pear. And you can just see how determined he was to get fit for this. And he only got 10 minutes on the field. And the same thing sort of happened with Weller. I don't know, I'll speak about it later, but I think I speak for most people when we say we didn't want to see Chris get subbed off so quick into the game. Like, he hadn't really touched the ball. And that was that. There wasn't actually too many other shots that I got. And that was that. Rebel then beat Hashtag. That was a bit of an upset. And that meant the end of Hashtag's reign as Wembley Cup champions. And now it's time for EXO to make their debut in the competition. And this is the team that everyone wanted to win the whole thing. With the likes of Geordie, Stephen, Lawrence, Cam. They had some quality footballers and Will and E. Everyone was saying EXO were the underdogs in the competition, and I think, yes, but Spencer actually made a good point at the game when he was on the microphone. They were the underdogs, but they still had some quality players, like James Alcott. They had Cam Kirkham, he's good at football. They had Kante, he's also good. Elliot Hackney, like they had a team full of quality players, so I wouldn't have written them off like completely. Like they could easily win, you never know. But anyway, they were warming up to play for the F2, and I got some good shots of Geordie scoring. And then he maybe got a bit ahead of himself. No. And then Cam Kirkham thought, you know what? Whatever you can do, I can do better. And then it was time for them actually to start the game. And there was big anticipation when EXO were walking out to the Wembley Cup music. Like, we were all eager for them to make a big name for EXO. And something also that was brilliant to see was Billy Wingrove out sprinting and giving it all for F2. Like, you've got to give credit to Billy. Like, he's been injured for so long and he's kept on working to try and get back fit, and he's finally in the match. So yeah, credit to Billy. And F2 started better than EXO, in my opinion. They went close on quite a few occasions. They could have taken the lead early on. Jezza had a free kick, which was, there was a lot of anticipation when we were waiting for Jezza to take that free kick. The goalkeeper did fumble it. It bounced just before it came to him, but yeah, I think maybe we expected Jezza to get a bit more top bins. And then that was half time and it was 0-0. And Geordie was still not on the pitch, so there was more excitement to come. The F2 were maybe a bit, they were maybe fouling a bit too much. I get it's a competition, it's competitive. Maybe they could have fouled a little less, but Cam Kirkham, if anyone wants to take some lessons of crossing, you know who to go to. And yes, the time has come, and I think this was one of the biggest cheers in the whole stadium. True Geordie, Brian, came on the field and the crowd erupted. And he was like a big battle brute coming onto the field. Like, though the F2 centre-backs, they were frightened of him. And I think we need to appreciate that Cafu has not lost it at all. That composure cannot be beaten. Unfortunately, that was the end of True Geordie's stint in the game. I think we were all gutted, really. And then F2 take the lead. And unfortunately that was the end of EXO at Wembley. I think we're all a bit gutted about that. True Geordie and James and everyone came and showed their appreciation to all the fans. James Alcott was actually very good. He was the captain, I think, actually. And he had a very good game, as did everyone for EXO, really. Now, it's time for the final. Rebel FC versus F2. And unfortunately for Kalen, he makes a mistake and Rebel concede the first goal quite early on. From what I've heard, he's a very nice guy, and from what I saw, he's a very good keeper, so obviously it was quite harsh on him. The Rebel players immediately consoled him, and throughout the first half, because I was obviously sat at his end, he was constantly just looking distraught, and I just felt so bad for him. Yeah, it's just one of them. I mean, in fact, you probably come back stronger from that mistake, really. I can just sympathise with how hard that must be to take for Kalen. Final of the Wembley Cup. But Kalen, if you are watching this, like, you were a quality keeper the rest of the day, and from other videos I've seen you in, quality keeper there as well, so keep at it. That doesn't show what you actually are, that mistake. It's very unfortunate. Let's keep going though. I mean, that's all the footage I got. That was half time, and then Rebel SC get in down the line with Sava. He whips a nice ball in and the keeper saves it. I don't know how. Actually, looking back at it, I do know how. It is the ball is going top corner, but the keeper is already literally rooted on that side of the goal. If it went the other side, we would probably be looking at a goal there, so. And then Rebel FC went close with a few free kicks. This one came off Reeve's back. I'm not too sure where he's looking for the ball, but Reeve again, he had a good game. And it's unfortunate that this one and another one, he also made a few mistakes, but I mean, he's playing at Wembley, like, you're gonna make mistakes. And then a pitch invader turns up, like, you're not gonna have a YouTube match at a football stadium without a pitch invader, which is quite annoying, actually. But hopefully we don't have any more pitch invaders. I don't actually think we had one last Wembley Cup. Not sure. That got a few laughs from the crowd. And then SV2 did a really nice flick to try and get their striker through, but it just wasn't working. And then SV2 actually almost gets in, but I mean, the F2 actually defended it pretty well and nullified danger. Now, is Rebel going to get one more chance from a set piece? Yes, they are. It's whipped in, and Reeve, he just glances the header wide. And then that's that. F2 are crowned the Wembley Cup champions, and a big, big congrats to F2. Big, big congrats to the F2 and Billy and Jezza, and yeah, they did really well to win it. But there are a few things that were mentioned, like what Jezza did after the game. And if you sat there wondering, what actually did Jezza do? As soon as the game finished, they interviewed Billy, Jezza, Manny. They interviewed them, and Jezza, the F2 are doing a sponsorship at the moment with Monster Energy, and he was promoting that after the game. He said that Spencer and him had a bit of beef in a WhatsApp group, and then he said Rebel were much better than Hashtag. They did just win the Wembley Cup, so he's allowed to be happy and bouncy, etc. Maybe he went a bit overboard a bit, but still, they won the Wembley Cup, like, well done. But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy that video, and like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you are new. The link to the stream on Spencer's channel is in the description if you do want to watch it, and hopefully in one Wembley Cup I'll get a call up, but I mean, that day's never going to happen. You just have to hope and dream, really. But yeah, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later. We're not actually over yet. I just wanted to give a few of my thoughts on the overall Wembley Cup, because I said I would. So yeah, let's do that now quickly. So the new Wembley Cup this year was the tournament setup, and you have to respect Spencer for keep on introducing new things into the Wembley Cup, keep it fresh. I always live by the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And last year's Wembley Cup was so good. Everyone involved just had such a great time, and the Wembley Stadium was full more last time, probably because more YouTubers were involved. And this time I feel like, I'm not taking anything away from Spencer, the organisation was immaculate, everything was just amazing, but the actual setup of what am I trying to say? I feel like more YouTubers could be involved in this tournament. Like Weller was going on about how he only got 1 minute in the game. Chrismd only got 10. I didn't see Manny play that much. I feel like a lot more YouTubers could be involved. Like if you want to have a full-on football match, like Hashtag are a semi-pro team, F2 are pretty much a semi-pro team with all the players they have. And if you want an actual football match, then go and do a football match. The fans have come to watch their favourite YouTubers play a full 90 minutes at Wembley, not a bunch of semi-pro teams that could just be playing in the league, in the English league. And the tournament setup isn't bad, it's actually, I think, very good. But the fact that you have 30-minute games, 3 of them at Wembley, it didn't really have enough flow to it. The teams didn't have enough time to settle, and I just feel like if you are doing the tournament setup, I think you should have all the like semi-finals, quarter-finals, etc. before you actually get to Wembley, and then maybe have the final at Wembley, a full-on 90 minutes. I think that'll be still quite good. I think each game being half an hour, I think just made it really difficult for each of the teams to settle. And obviously Jezza did what he did on the live stream, you can have your own opinion. And some people said the commentators weren't great. I mean, I look back on the live stream, I thought the commentary was fine, nothing really wrong with that. Also, I don't really get the idea of a YouTube football team. I feel like it's a bit confusing, because when the F2 won, Jezza said we are the best YouTube football team. And yes, on the day they were the best football team at Wembley, but this idea of a YouTube football team, I'm not sure I quite get it, because Jeremy was the only YouTuber on the pitch when they won. I feel like if it's going to be a YouTube football team, it needs to be filled with YouTubers. Maybe not every player, but maybe half or more than half to be classed as a YouTube football team. So yeah, I'm just not really too sure on the term YouTube football team. I don't personally think the F2 can be classed as a YouTube football team when there's only one YouTuber on the pitch when they won. So I think they're more of just an actual football team. So then you can go on to an actual English league. Like actual YouTube teams like EXO and Rebel and even Hashtag, I think they are more of a YouTube football team, in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know. I mean, I'm wrong about most things, so yeah, I mean, that's just, it's just my view. It doesn't mean I'm correct. But like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you're new, those are my thoughts. If you do disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comments, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, see you later.